Before we begin, let's take a deep breath. Have you ever felt a kind of emptiness that words could not describe? That quiet ache that lingers in your chest, even when the world looks normal on the outside. It's the kind of pain that time seems afraid to touch. The pain of a broken heart, when someone you love walks away, or when life shatters something you believed would last forever. You don't simply lose a person, you lose a piece of yourself. You lose the version of you that existed in that love. And for a while, it feels as if you will never find your way back home again. Buddhism teaches that all suffering begins with attachment. We attach ourselves to people, to moments, to feelings, and we call them mine. But the nature of life is change. The person you loved was always changing just as you were. The moments you shared were always passing. When we forget this truth, we cling to what was, and the clinging becomes the source of our deepest pain. To heal a broken heart is not to erase the memory of love. It is to understand it, to see it as it truly was. A meeting of two impermanent beings on a path that crossed for a while and then drifted apart. The love was real, but it was never meant to be permanent, because nothing in life is. You might ask, if everything changes, why love at all? Because love is the mirror through which we learn about ourselves. Through love, we learn patience, kindness, generosity, and forgiveness. Through heartbreak, we learn detachment, humility, and compassion. Both are necessary for awakening. The first step to healing is acceptance. Acceptance is not agreement, it is awareness. It is looking at your pain and saying, yes, this is what is. Most people try to run from heartbreak, burying themselves in distractions, pretending to be fine, or rushing into something new. But pain denied only hides, it doesn't disappear. Like a wound left unattended, it festers quietly, until one day it bleeds through every corner of your life. So sit with it. Let the pain breathe. When you stop fighting it, you begin to see that it is not the enemy, it is the teacher. In Buddhism, the heart is like a lake. When the water is stirred by emotion, it becomes muddy and unclear. But if you allow it to settle, if you stop agitating it with your thoughts and stories, the mud sinks and the water becomes clear again. Healing begins in the stillness that follows surrender. You may think, I can't let go, it hurts too much. That's because you're trying to let go all at once. Letting go is not an act of force, it is an act of understanding. When you see clearly that holding on brings suffering, the hand releases by itself. You don't have to push it away, it simply drops. Clarity is what sets you free, not effort. Sometimes, healing feels unfair. You gave your best. You were kind, patient, sincere, yet the story ended. But the truth is, love was never a transaction to be balanced. Every love we experience, whether it stays or leaves, has already fulfilled its purpose. It brought you lessons that no book could teach. It revealed both your strength and your fragility. And when it's done, its purpose is complete. There's a Zen saying, let go or be dragged. When you resist what life has already changed, you suffer twice. Once from the loss itself, and again from your refusal to accept it. Acceptance doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care in a new way, without ownership, without demand, without expectation. The second step to healing is compassion, not only for the one who hurt you, but for yourself. When we're brokenhearted, we often become our own harshest critics. We replay every moment, every word, asking, what did I do wrong? But compassion whispers, you did the best you could with the awareness you had. Healing begins when you stop punishing yourself for being human. Compassion allows you to see that everyone is carrying their own pain. The one who hurt you was also lost in their own illusions. The way they acted was shaped by their own wounds, their own ignorance, their own fears. When you see this clearly, hatred starts to dissolve. You don't forgive to set them free. You forgive to set yourself free. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing peace over poison. Every time you revisit the past, ask yourself, am I feeding my pain or my peace? Whatever you feed will grow. The third step is mindfulness. A broken heart is not only about what happened in the past, it's also about the stories you keep telling yourself in the present. Mindfulness teaches you to come back to now, to the breath, to the body, to the sensations that exist in this very moment. In this present moment, your pain is only a feeling, a wave rising and falling within you. It becomes unbearable only when you build stories around it. I will never love again. I will always be alone. But these are not truths. They are thoughts, and thoughts lose their power when you see them for what they are, passing clouds in a vast sky. When you learn to observe your mind instead of believing it, you reclaim your peace. You become the watcher, not the wound. And from that space of awareness, healing unfolds naturally. Sometimes the heart breaks not because it failed, but because it opened too deeply. To love is to make yourself vulnerable, to risk the pain of loss. But vulnerability is also the path to awakening. Buddha taught that the heart capable of great love is also capable of great compassion, and compassion is the highest form of wisdom. So don't close your heart, even if it's cracked. Let the light come through the cracks. A heart that has suffered and healed is softer, wiser, and infinitely more beautiful. Maybe you're thinking, but how long will it take to heal? There is no clock for the heart. Healing takes as long as it takes. Some days you'll feel light again. Other days, the ache will return. Both are part of the process. Be patient with yourself, the way you would with a wounded child. You don't rush healing, you nurture it. You may find yourself missing the person at unexpected times, a song, a smell, a familiar place. When that happens, don't resist it. Smile gently and say, "Thank you for the memory." Then return to the present. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. As you heal, you'll notice something miraculous. The pain that once consumed you becomes wisdom. The love that once felt lost becomes compassion for others. And the silence you once feared becomes your peace. Healing is not the end of love. It is its evolution. The love you gave returns to you in a different form, as understanding, patience, and the gentle strength that arises from acceptance. If you allow this process to unfold, you'll see that a broken heart was never a curse. It was an invitation to meet yourself without masks, to discover who you are when everything you depended on has fallen away. And what you'll find beneath the pain is something unbreakable. Sometimes we think healing means forgetting, but that is not true. To heal is to remember with peace instead of pain. When a memory arises, don't push it away or hold on to it. Just watch it. See it like a leaf floating on water, drifting by, touching the surface of your awareness, then moving on. Memories lose their power when you meet them with presence rather than resistance. In the early stages of heartbreak, you might feel like life has lost its meaning. Food tastes different, laughter feels forced, and the world seems drained of color. But remember this, emptiness is not absence. It is space. It is the open field where something new can grow. When the storm of emotion passes, what remains is the quiet soil of your being, ready for new seeds of understanding to bloom. Buddha said, "You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." This is not just a comforting phrase, it is a spiritual truth. Your heart, even when broken, is still the temple of awareness. To heal, you must return to it again and again with tenderness. Speak kindly to yourself. Offer yourself the same compassion you would offer to a friend who is suffering. You are not weak because you feel pain. You are human because you feel deeply. The world teaches us to hide our wounds, but Buddhism invites us to look at them gently. Your pain is not a flaw. It's a doorway to wisdom. When you stop running from it, you begin to see that within the ache, there is a quiet invitation to awaken, to see life as it truly is, and to love without chains. One day, you will wake up and realize that the heaviness in your chest has softened. You'll smile without trying. You'll notice the sun feels warmer, the sky wider. And in that moment, you'll understand healing didn't come because time magically erased the pain. It came because you learned to stop clinging to what hurt and started embracing what is. There will be moments when loneliness visits again. Do not treat it as an enemy. Sit with it as you would sit with a quiet guest. Listen to what it wants to teach you. Loneliness often hides wisdom. It reminds you that peace doesn't come from another person's presence. It comes from your own awareness. When you are alone, breathe and look deeply into your own mind. Ask yourself, who is it that feels lonely? You'll see that the one who feels lonely is the same consciousness that can observe loneliness. That awareness, pure and steady, has never been broken. This is your true self, untouched by loss. Buddhism teaches that the heart and the mind are not separate. They are two reflections of the same mirror. When you calm the mind, the heart naturally follows. When you accept the heart, the mind becomes peaceful. Healing is not about fixing, it is about allowing. It is the art of resting in what is real rather than chasing what is gone. You may wonder if you will ever love again. The answer is yes, but in a different way. You will love with more awareness, less fear. You will love without the desperation to possess, and in that freedom, your love will become purer. Pain purifies love. It burns away illusion, leaving only what is true. Kindness, patience, and understanding. Each time your heart breaks, it opens a little wider. The cracks are not signs of failure. They are spaces where the light enters. When you love again, it will not be from need, but from wholeness. And even if that love ends, you will know that endings are not losses. They are transitions. Healing is the practice of presence. It's choosing to live this day, this breath, this moment, not as a victim of what happened, but as a witness of what is happening now. Every breath you take is proof that life still trusts you to continue. Every sunrise is a quiet invitation to begin again. Do not measure your progress by how much you have forgotten. Measure it by how gently you can remember. If you can think of the past and still smile with gratitude for what it taught you, then you have truly healed. There will be times you'll stumble, moments when tears come without warning. Let them. Each tear is a release, the body's way of saying, I'm still learning to let go. Healing is not linear. It moves in circles, spirals, and waves. Trust that every return to pain is also a return to deeper wisdom. In Buddhist practice, there is a meditation called metta, loving kindness. You repeat quietly, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be free from suffering. You begin with yourself, then extend it to the one who hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Love that is trapped in resentment poisons the one who holds it. Release it, not for them, but for you. The moment you can wish well to those who once hurt you, your chains fall away. That's the true freedom of the awakened heart. And when you finally stand in that freedom, you will realize something profound. The person who broke you also opened you. They played their part in your journey of awakening. Without the pain they brought, you might never have discovered the vastness of your own heart. In that realization, gratitude quietly replaces anger. This is the circle of healing. Pain becomes wisdom, loss becomes growth, endings become beginnings. The more you understand this cycle, the more you live without fear of being broken again. Because you'll know that even if your heart breaks once more, it will heal again, softer and stronger than before. Healing a broken heart is not a destination, it's a practice. It's the daily choice to show up, to breathe, to be kind, to stay open. One gentle step, one breath, one act of compassion at a time, over and over, until peace becomes your natural state. And when peace returns, quietly, like dawn breaking after a long night, honor it. Don't rush to fill the silence. Sit in it. It's the silence of understanding, the calm after surrender, the sound of freedom. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become after it. Your heart, though broken, is still the seat of boundless love. Let this truth be your comfort. Nothing in you is truly lost. So breathe again. Let the past rest. Smile gently at the journey that shaped you. Because the one who survives heartbreak with awareness doesn't just recover, they awaken. And if this reflection brought you even a small sense of peace, imagine what more you could find here. Subscribe to Buddha's Temple and continue walking this path of mindfulness and healing with us. Each video is another step toward stillness, another breath toward freedom. As you walk this path, learn to forgive yourself for staying too long, for trusting too deeply, for believing something that didn't last. Forgive yourself. Not because you did something wrong, but because you were brave enough to love. You'll see patterns more clearly, understand people more deeply, and move through the world with softer eyes. This is the transformation heartbreak was meant to bring. Not destruction, but awakening. The heart that has known pain becomes more compassionate. It no longer seeks to possess. It seeks to understand. It no longer asks, "Why did this happen to me?" It asks, "What is life trying to teach me through this?" And in that simple shift, pain turns into peace. One of Buddha's teachings says, "In the end, these things matter most. How well did you love? How fully did you live? And how deeply did you let go?" Letting go is not forgetting. It is remembering with clarity. It is releasing the desire to rewrite the past. It is saying, "This happened, and it shaped me, but it does not define me." When you can say that with truth in your heart, you are free. So, if you are still in the middle of your healing, I want you to know this. You are not broken beyond repair. You are simply returning home. To yourself, to your peace, to the quiet strength that has always been within you. Each breath you take is a reminder that life continues to flow through you, asking you to begin again. Not as who you were, but as who you are becoming. Breathe in the present. Let it cleanse the spaces where pain used to live. And when you exhale, release the weight of what no longer belongs. You deserve the peace you seek. You deserve the calm you crave. You deserve to heal completely. And when you finally find that stillness, not because everything went right, but because you stopped needing it to, smile, because that's when you'll know the healing you were searching for was never outside of you. It was always within. Thank you for walking through this reflection with us today. If this message touched your heart, take a moment, pause, breathe, and place your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. That rhythm is proof that you're still alive, still growing, still capable of loving again. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Where in the world are you watching this from? Let's fill the comment section with the energy of healing hearts from every corner of the world. Type your country or city below, and together, let's build a community of peace and understanding. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Buddha's Temple so you never miss another reflection like this. Each video is created to guide you back to peace. One breath, one thought, one moment at a time. Until next time, may your heart be light, your mind be calm, and your path be filled with peace.